Ras Al Khaimah has ambitious plans to grow its tourism numbers to 3 million by 2030 through its new balanced tourism strategy. And we're joined by the CEO of RAK Tourism and Development Authority, Mr. Raki Phillips. Thanks so much for being with us today, Mr. Phillips. Now, tell us about RAK's new tourism strategy, how you really plan to grow visitor numbers to 3 million by 2030, and all while maintaining sustainable development.
As you know, tourism is a main driving force to the GDP, not just of the Emirate, but to the UAE. 12% of the country's GDP is driven by tourism and 750,000 people are employed. But what we wanted to be able to do is to showcase a balanced approach that attracts investors for sustainable future growth with great returns, but also maintaining the culture and the environment that we have in Ras Al Khaimah. A big focus of our balanced tourism strategy falls on the environment, but not just sustainability, but cultural sustainability, economic sustainability, and livability of the Emirate, and improving that through tourism.
A really exciting project is coming up for Ras Al Khaimah. You will welcome your first Wynn resort in 2026, a multi-billion dirham and dollar, for that matter, resort, which interestingly includes gaming. Tell us how this will really change the face of tourism in RAK.
So the Wynn development is an exciting project that we have. We announced it recently. It's over 1,000 keys as a development. We'll be on Merjan Island, and we'll have a brand new mode of tourism that comes into the Emirate. But what we're very excited about is really the investment that this brings in. Wynn believes strongly in the growth of the Emirate, not just to operate a resort, but to also invest in the Emirate as being one of the largest foreign direct investments coming into the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. We're excited about this and so many more of our projects. And Wynn is a great partner that, if you look at their track record, has very much been focused on sustainable developments. So it's something that we're extremely excited about.
So tell us a little bit more about FDI investment in Ras Al Khaimah's tourism sector. How much do you anticipate it growing in the near and in the long term?
There's been a significant amount of interest into tourism investments into the Emirate. When you look at the very attractive IRRs that have been happening with some of the resorts that we've had, how we were resilient during the pandemic period. But recent announcement, not just Wynn, but also Al Dar announced a significant investment into the destination. We have many operators that are coming. It's a key opportune time to be able to come into RAK because of our diversified tourism offering, the fact that you have sprawling spaces. So, when you look at 64 kilometers of beachfront, or one of our Hilton resorts has a 1.6 kilometer beachfront, makes it quite attractive from an FDI investment. And we continue to grow that segment into the Emirate.
Now, tell us about your global destination marketing campaign. Has it helped you to increase international visitorship from the UK and other markets?
It has. So for us, during the pandemic, we focused very much on our shortcations, and we became the #1 destinations for the drive market, leaving the other Emirates and coming to enjoy an escape into nature with some of the space that the hotels have. But our bread and butter, not just in the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, but in the UAE, always falls into international travel. I'm happy to say that the Emirate has a very diversified customer base. So we have customers that come from all over the world, especially out of Europe, the Far East, Asia, and we continue to grow these markets significantly. We just recently launched a new office in Latin America out of Brazil, because we do believe what the Emirate offers is so particular and important to everyone that's looking for a unique experience.
And how is your airline and your connectivity strategy really facilitating international visitorship?
Well, we're very blessed to be 45 minutes outside of Dubai International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world. So a lot of our connectivity comes from there, but we also have Sharjah International Airport with the Air Arabia connectivity. That's only a 35-minute drive from the destination. But in Ras Al Khaimah, we have Ras Al Khaimah International Airport that also connects to several countries around the world. We've worked very closely with our partners at the airport to have charter flights that come in, as well as carriers from key destinations that will drive tourism to the Emirates.
Now, RAC has a renewed focus on cruise tourism, and you are actually collaborating with the Port Authority to develop the sector. What is the future of cruise tourism in Ras Al Khaimah?
When you look at cruise tourism globally, it is an industry that has innovated faster than maybe some of the other carriers and some of the other modes of transportation. And cruise is a really essential part of a certain demographic that looks for cruise tourism. So we are working with our partners at RAC Ports in order to enhance the infrastructure around the ports to welcome some of the cruise ships. We've welcomed some cruise ships in the past, and they've had a great opportunity because when they dock in Ras Al Khaimah, they can go up to the highest mountain, Jebel Jais, to be able to experience the zip line or some of the attractions that we have, like Jais Sledder, one of our toboggan rides. They can relax on the beach, or they can also do some of our cultural sites. We have 7,000 years of history and 4 temporary UNESCO heritage sites.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.